the in-between, the ups and downs, the curves and the rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funkin' in the city, funkin' up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funkin' in the city, funkin' up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Down, da, 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 da.
Oh,
15 seconds.
and we're
motherfucker.
live.
Oh, hell no, we're straight up live.
Now we're live.
That was not cool. Are we live? I don't even
We
know
are
what's
live now.
happening. The song ends. We have 15 seconds. That's the countdown. Why did you change it?
I'm just screwing with you at this point, David.
You are. You're just messing with me at this point. Who the hell? All right, you got to do the 5. You got to do the 4, because otherwise we're never going to get this thing off the ground.
5, 4, 3. And we're live.
And we are back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm Wes. This guy is David. And that was Funkle Sam and the MFB. So I thought we needed a little mix up for our intro there.
Little intro there. So that was the MFB. If anybody knows, when you ask Funkle Sam, and that's what he calls himself, is Funkle Sam. When you ask Funkle Sam, like, what does MFB stand for? And he will always tell you, what do you think it stands for? Because whatever you think it stands for, that's what it stands for.
That's exactly it. That's what he told me when I first asked him. So,
yeah, absolutely. So,
David, how you been?
West, I've been doing great. Absolutely. This week, I'm down in Florida. I'm with my crowd, right? I'm with a crowd of people that are just freaking awesome.
So,
Sometimes I get stuck out, and I'm like, I get one meeting with one group of cool people, and then I'm, kind of like just waiting on airplanes and stuff, right? This week, no, man, ingrained, engaged, absolutely loving life this week. Even though I've
nice.
been here, it feels like I got here on Sunday, so I've
Yeah.
been down here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for a while. Uh, but the end of the week is like my people are here, man. I'm having a freaking blast.
So
Absolute
good
blast.
people.
So
That's
West.
awesome. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So West.
Hmm.
What are you drinking tonight?
All right, well, so I am pre-gaming for St. Patrick's Day. So, of course,
I
I'm doing a little Guinness. I got the
okay. All
Dublin
right.
Porter
Is it
today. So,
the Dublin Porter? So tell
oh
us about
yeah.
the Dublin Porter from Guinness. Guinness, as you guys will remember from a few episodes back, we talked about basically putting yourself on the map. I'm going to scoot my computer back a little bit. There we go. There we go. All right. So tell us about the Dublin Guinness, or the Dublin Porter by Guinness.
Yeah, so this is from a collection they released a couple of years ago, and they're almost impossible to find now. But the Dublin Porter is actually one of their older recipes before the one that people
The
commonly
stout.
know now, the
Yeah.
stout, the draft stout,
Okay.
and it's basically the same thing. It doesn't have as much of a head or a creamy texture to it, but the flavor is right on point. It's nice, rich, chocolatey, just the way you expect a Guinness to be. And if you can find it, I highly recommend Guinness Dublin Porter.
Okay. Great. That's good
What are
stuff.
you
Good
drinking,
stuff. Good
David?
stuff.
Being in Florida, I
Well,
assume something nice and
I'm
fruity.
no, absolutely not. So I started my night. I had dinner meetings. There were people that were important. I had to talk to them. I had to kiss the rings. It was doing all this stuff, right? No, again, there's a bunch of people that I actually really like being around. So it's a really good week. And my boss, she's here, and I'll tell you, I don't. Not everybody gets this. Not everybody gets a chance to do this. Is to work for somebody you actually admire. Now,
That's
I've
awesome.
got to
Yeah.
do it. I've got to do it really, truly twice.
Hmm.
And this Sheila, which I won't call her out by any other name than that, is probably. I am in awe of people who can look like that are multitasking geniuses.
Okay.
Me, I am a all right, you can send a lot of stuff at me and I can absorb it all, but when it comes time to process, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do this task
Sure.
and then this task and then this task. I'm going to triage, I'm going to tell what's important, and then I'm going to go to work, right? I mean,
Right.
that's just that's how my brain functions. But to see somebody that looks almost that they can go seven different ways at one time, and it's like, I don't know how your brain functions. Do you have blood, or you just have liquid caffeine? I don't know. But,
Right.
but
Some
she's
people are
pretty
just built
freaking
different.
awesome. But she's
That's
here.
awesome.
Yeah, she's here. I mean, I gotta tell you, I travel a ton, and most people who watch know that. Most of the time, it's just me and one person or one group, and I'm doing the presentations, and I'm doing. I've I think I've said 7 sentences in
Yeah.
the past 24 hours in business settings, and all I've got to do is sit back and listen. It's been freaking great, and I'm a jibber jabber guy, right? I mean, I can talk. So when I don't have to do that, I love listening and learning from people. So it has been an amazing week. Now, to that point,
To that point.
I am in a hotel, which means the bourbon selections and the drink selections aren't the greatest. However, I do have
Hmm.
a lovely, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's not Woodford, which is standard in a hotel. You can get Woodford anywhere. I call it the
Oh
golfer's
yeah.
bourbon. But this is a 9 year. Uh, it's not Bullet, but it's a 9 year something or another. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And so I told the guys like, "Hey, I got to run upstairs. I got to do a podcast." So he poured me
He
a
gave you
second one.
two. Nice.
Gave me two. And then, to be fair, we had just left the place where I had three double Woodfords, and 2 Moscow Mules. So
So
it's
you're
not
feeling
like
pretty
my
good.
it's not like my liver's taking the week off, right?
Right, go home, liver. You're drunk. I understand.
Yes. So I mean, it's good time. It's good time. But gee, Christmas, it's hurting my brain now that I can't remember what the name of this whiskey is.
It's really gonna put
Oh
you.
no, it's
You're gonna
not.
have to go back.
It's the Knob Creek 9 year.
Creek. That's a good one. That's a good one.
There we go.
Yeah.
Knob Creek, nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Good middle of the road whiskey, and the 9 year is middle to the right. Great whiskey.
There you go. That's all you can ask for, man.
Absolutely. Not only am I having a great week
Yeah. Okay.
with me down here, West sends me the agenda for today, and I look at it, and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, I like this
You actually
because
read the agenda.
yeah, so it plays in so well with kind of almost what we have said from day one on this podcast, and we'll get into that later. I don't want to just jump ahead, but I got to tell you, I don't want to say it's few because Wes really comes up with some great agendas. But tonight was one of those nights where you're like, this is going to be good. This is going to be a great night. A lot of good talking points. Anybody out there watching, especially live, drop in the comments. Engagement is very key. We want to hear from you. We want to hear, because we're going to talk about some of the big guys. Clearly, I mean,
Right.
there's a couple of them that are just like very blatant, and we've talked
Yeah.
about some of these in the past. But we want to hear about other things, and then more importantly, we want it to be a warning for you to never lose sight of certain things. But we're not going to get into that right now because right now, what time is it, Wes? Is it time for the news?
The news. It's time for you to learn the rest of the story. I got to learn a Paul Harvey impersonation. I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, we've never said hello so quickly in our lives. But today's. Oh, there you go. I had you muted for a second, David. Sorry. I had us muted when we had the desktop on earlier. You're back. All right. So today's news is brought to you by Flashpoint Safety Systems. Flashpoint Safety Systems is about to launch pre-orders because we are about to start a pretty decent sized production run. And boy, when that happens, you guys will be the first to know, and that's going to be exciting. So I have a
So
feeling that we're going to start selling out very, very, very quickly once we put that up.
So I love how we've put this in as a pseudo sponsor of the show. But the system itself is very good. It uses excellent technology, and as far as a consumer level product, it really is the benchmark that everyone will be chasing. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens with the folks over at Flashpoint and basically you. So it's very exciting to see how this is going to go. So this is one of the things we kept quiet for quite a long time. We've been talking about it a little bit more since January, but great stuff. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Well, so the idea
I got to take a little. I understand.
All right,
so this is that nerd.
Okay.
This is that nerd brain.
David's
that nerd
nerd
brain
out.
of
He's going
mine.
to start critiquing the website. Now he critiques.
No. I'm
Go
not going to critique it because your target audience is not me.
It's constructive criticism. I'll take it. Go ahead.
No, it's not constructive criticism. This is highlighting while I look at that and go, well, technically,
there doesn't have to be fire.
Yeah, exactly. And there are other things that are even before smoke, which is technically what your system is actually looking for.
Well, because David, it plays into the idea that if you have a battery that is going into thermal runaway and there is smoke, it's already too late. That's the idea behind that statement.
But this is my point here is that you'll get this as soon as I say it. I'm not your target audience.
Probably not you, but it would be smart for you to.
I'm not your
target.
Dude! As soon as I can actually buy one of these things, I'm going to buy 3.
See,
I need one for my
target audience. You say you're not the target audience, but you say you're going to buy 3.
Shush!
I'm just okay.
I am going to buy 3. I am going to buy 3 of them though. But first and foremost, this really drives home a quick blurb, a quick statement, something that it's going to resonate. It's going to connect with the people coming across your website. It's going to connect with them on a very fundamental level. It's something simply understood. They don't have to understand the science, they don't understand the cycle of how a battery breaks down or any of that. So that was my point, and it was to feed into the who your core customer is, so that we can circle back to it later when we
There
get
you
into the
go.
key
So once
topic.
we
So
get closer to the main topic, I was actually gonna circle back to this because
okay.
we're also gonna have a Donut Labs update at the end of the news. And
Oh,
the
good.
advice that I was going to give to Donut Labs, I was going to say, hey, we're actually going to do this at Flashpoint. The same advice I'm going to give to Donut Labs. So not that they want
Excellent.
or will take my advice, but
They really should, though.
we'll get into that later. All right,
If they
we do
don't
have
want
some
to be
actual
the
news.
next, if they don't want to be the, if they don't want to be the next people that are uh, having people send them their poop and blood, and then pops because it's all fake, they should really take some constructive criticism.
Whew, you would think
All right,
so.
what do we got here?
First piece of
You would think
news:
so, yes.
inside the company selling quantum entanglement. So there's actually a company exactly. So there's a company right now who's trying to develop a quantum internet. Apparently, they've already tested certain infrastructure elements of their technology in cities like New York, and so far they claim it works. But I think it's a little more complicated than most people seem to understand. We're not living in Star Trek days quite yet, and quantum entanglement is extremely delicate, and it needs to take place in very, very precise conditions that I don't think fiber optic cables under the streets of New York are quite going to hold up to. They claim they've already tested millions of entangled particles so far, but
What?
we'll see. Yeah.
If this was real, if this was real, I'd already know about it, and I'm sitting here like in shock because I've never heard of this. If this were real, I would absolutely already know about this.
And
Because as anybody who's an avid viewer of this show, and everybody really should be an avid viewer of this show,
you should be.
Wes
You
is a
really should be.
proponent for warp drive, and I am a proponent for quantum teleportation. So if there's advancements in quantum entanglement, I pay attention because I want to win this bet that we actually don't have, and it maximum would be worth $1, right? So I want to follow things here on this. So tell me,
Yes.
West.
Hmm.
What I need you to understand is
Well, sure.
what are they what are they claiming to have done, and then how are they trying to monetize? This is such a strange statement of selling quantum entanglement. Is it just data communications? I mean,
Right.
what
So
walk us through what they're doing. Walk us through.
So I have a feeling this might be the Donut Labs of a quantum internet type technology. So
That does not bode well. Just for
it,
those of you in Rio Linda, that does not bode well.
right. So as everybody obviously knows, quantum entanglement um,
Obviously.
holds the key to the most tight security the universe could ever produce. You basically have
Yes.
two particles that are entangled on distant sides of the universe, even let alone different sides of the planet. When one particle acts a certain way, the entangled particle goes the same way. So the idea is you can have two particles communicating, exchanging information back and forth, and there's no way to intercept the data that's being sent back and forth. However, thanks to kind of a dopey guy, went by the name of Heisenberg, you can know where a particle is going or where it is, but you can't know both at the same time. So I'm willing to bet their internet speeds probably aren't super great right now.
So I just
How did that make any sense to anybody besides you and I?
well,
All right,
you and I got it.
Well, here's a joke. There's a joke that goes along with this. So, there's an electron.
Hey,
There's
he got pulled over.
this electron who got pulled over by a cop. The cop
No,
asked the electron.
how did you like that? How did you like that? How did you like that? I'm like, you're like, this is Electron. Did he get pulled over?
You've heard the joke. He got pulled over by a cop. The cop
Of
says,
course.
"Hey, do you know how fast you're going?" The electron says, "Yeah, I do, but crap, now I'm lost." Like three
It
people laughed at that in the
takes
entire world, but it works.
it
So
takes it takes a certain level of nerd to laugh, and I knew it was coming.
exactly,
It was good. I really do. I really do like that joke. It's good. It's a good joke.
it's a classic, man. It's a classic.
Yeah.
So this company claims to be developing it. I wouldn't invest in them myself. But they claim they're doing it. They claim they've already produced millions of entangled particles.
Cables. Let's just read the subtitle here. Cables underneath New York City are teeming with
Right.
entangled quantum particles.
Right, because here's the key. They claim they can transmit data through existing fiber optic lines. So they don't have to lay new cable. They just use existing fiber optics.
So now,
Let's hear it, David.
I, the,
Companies like
I'm
this are raising billions of dollars. This is probably a
I'm
unicorn
struggling
company.
here. I'm struggling here because, first of all, the structure of the sentence is incorrect, and I do have a problem with that. Entangled quantum particles, not quantum entangled particles of light. It's entangled quantum particles, which it is it's a minor change grammatically, but scientifically, the difference between those two statements are astounding. A
Yeah, I don't think
quantum entangled
Carmela
particle,
Padovic Callahan is quite understands the
yeah,
intricacies of
yeah,
quantum
freaking
mechanics, quantum particles,
crazy
and or
Irish
mechanics.
people. Yeah. So yeah, an entangled quantum particle is, I mean, all right, fine. So let's see here. Spent a decade working on building an unhackable quantum internet.
Right, is
Man,
what they say.
people think they can just drop the word quantum, like the second of the newer James Bond series, like Quantum of Solace.
Quantum of Solace. Yeah,
Like you can just drop the word quantum in things, and it's going to make it awesome.
it sounds
This
techie.
is yeah. So really, what I'm reading here, just as you scrolling, I'm like, they have fiber optic.
Yeah.
I don't
Also,
think you're I don't think you're sending quantum entangled particles through fiber optics.
well,
Um,
yeah.
Lost in
So
Space, Lost in Space is loosely based upon this general principle, um, but I'm sorry, the Matt LeBlanc Lost in Space is loosely based upon this principle. I had to make sure I clarify that.
there you go.
But you're not doing it via fiber optics. So
Well, no. And
yeah,
frankly,
I'm gonna
you wouldn't need fiber
yeah.
optics. So the
Exa-
idea.
that's the point. That's the
Yeah.
whole point. Oh, it's through fiber optics. Well, if it's quantum entangled, why do you have anything to do? Why does it have anything at all to do with fiber optics?
Well. So this might also, like I said, this is probably the donut labs of quantum entangled technology, because
Yeah,
a lot of people are now. We'll get into that later. Anyway, I'll
yeah.
explain what I
Okay.
mean later when we actually get to the donut labs part. It's we got a lot more news
All
though.
right.
Here's a good one,
Great.
Dave. You're gonna love this.
And
Dave's gonna
he
love
hasn't
this.
said that to me. I don't have a clue. He don't have a clue what he's talking about doing labs this week. I forgot to check. Because they were supposed to have a new test in. All right. Consciousness formed before life itself. Science. So I did hear about that.
Yeah, consciousness. There's scientists who actually think consciousness actually formed before biological life. Think about that.
Yeah.
Did that just blow your mind, or
Uh, and
maybe it
well,
blew your mind
yes.
before your mind
It's
existed?
that's that's the point. This goes back even further that consciousness existed prior to the Big Bang. So
Well,
there's
actually, this is a little different. I do agree with that. So the idea of a Boltzmann brain is theoretically more likely than biological life to evolve from nothing. Um, but this one actually goes into the details of how they think it works. Um, mechanically, how consciousness might work mechanically outside of biology. So what this actually goes on to say is these two scientists, I didn't get their names, believe that, or they're hypothesizing that consciousness is actually the result of certain mechanical features of microtubules based in certain proteins, based in certain non-organic proteins. And it's likely, they say, that a level of consciousness existed that could possibly start to allow for purposeful reorganization of molecular structures according to this consciousness that then led to biological life.
So this was in the very first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation, where they were shooting the laser down
The
at
crystalline
this
entity?
crystalline, not the crystalline entity,
Okay.
but they were shooting the laser down the thing, mining or whatnot, and it was a silicon based, I believe, um, organism that then started killing people or something. I don't know. It was shot some lasers and stuff. The freaking laser on a shark's head. Um, but yeah,
Noah said
I just would
yo.
say keep your tubules to yourself, and maybe life will be a lot easier for you.
Yeah, I have a feeling these guys
And
probably
Noah
got carried
says
away in some
yo.
science fiction. Yeah, Noah says yo.
Yeah, yo.
Because literally what they're
Long
saying
O.
is just something that came out of science fiction that it's one of those things that it's like so far out there, it's like, well, okay, prove us wrong. How can
Yeah,
how can
exactly,
we possibly prove something like
exactly. Yeah,
that?
evidence could be. I love it. Conscious form before life itself, scientists say, and the evidence could be in this asteroid sample.
Right.
Well,
David,
ancient astronaut theorists
that's what I'm
believe.
saying. David, we missed our calling. We should have been scientists because we can make up all kinds of crazy shit that nobody could disprove.
Hey, oh yeah. Just prove it. Yeah, just prove it.
Yeah, prove me wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm a scientist,
yeah,
you know.
gravity is not the warping of space time. Gravity is fat bottom girls make the rockin' world go round.
There you go. Exactly.
Prove me wrong. To be fair, it's
I
been
mean,
over
I'd like to
40
see the math on
years.
that, frankly.
It's been over. I've seen the math. It's usually accompanied with a pole
There you
and some ones, but
go.
the math checks out. The
Lots of
math
ones, not enough
does check out.
zeros. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. Okay, so what's next before I get my wife mad at me?
Fair enough. All right, here's one.
Oh,
Brewdog.
I knew
Brewdog
this. I
has
see
been
this. I was going to
acquired.
ask you about this before the show.
Yeah, Brewdog's been acquired. So, for those who don't know, Brewdog, the UK brewery, they also have a pretty big facility here in Canal Winchester, Ohio. Uh, the UK branch of the company has been acquired. The same company who bought them is looking to purchase the rest of their global organization, but it's a pretty big deal. And here's the thing: it actually sold for a lot less than I thought. Oh, it's the rest of the article
So
just
I
took off.
didn't I did
It was
not
only
see I
sold for
did
like
not see the
$44
number.
million dollars,
Really?
like a surprisingly low number. Yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps okay. So I can understand a little bit of this just because I think that company may have a little more debt,
Yeah.
debt,
Debbed?
debt.
Debbed?
Just in case Kiki's watching, she'll get that.
She would,
Debt.
but she's not watching.
Anyway, I think a company may have had a little more debt than most of us would expect. So it's a possibility that's what played in into the lower number, but still $44 million. Hey, is the guy we got completely clattered with in that picture?
James
Oh, that's
was. He
somebody
was one of the
else.
founders. He's not in
Yeah, he's one of them. He's not in the
so
pictures.
the founders actually,
Yeah.
both of the founders kind of parted ways with the company a while ago. James was kind of
Oh,
pushed
okay.
out. There was a little bit of controversy there. He was kind of pushed out, but ever since the founders left, like they really have not been doing as well as they had been historically. And
Imagine that when you stop connecting with the core of your customer. I don't know. Is that going to play into our topic tonight? Maybe.
maybe a
Stay
little bit.
tuned.
There could be something related here.
Yeah, could be.
Beyond that, David, have you heard this idea that people who use psychedelic drugs all seem to have the same experiences seeing little alien people running around? Have you heard this? If you listen to Joe Rogan, you've heard this before. I assume you probably have not heard
Okay, so I am going to openly admit this.
this.
I
Don't tell us
have
about your LSD experiences, David. We don't know what you don't want to know.
I have never in my life watched a Joe Rogan episode.
I listen to it when I mow the grass and when I do yard work and stuff outside. They're like 3 hours long. It's like the perfect length to like do stuff and then go do something else. So and occasionally
I
have
have
some really
never
good.
watched. I've seen some clips.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple things like, oh, he's interviewing AJ from the Y Files. I'll go watch a couple scenes out of that. That's cool. Because not because of Joe Rogan, but because of AJ. AJ's cool, so I want to go check out AJ, and like if the hecklish is there, say hi. I gotta tell you, at first I hated heckle. I hated it, but
But now you love
he's
the
he's
hecklefish.
warmed on me. I'm a fan of the hecklefish, but so no, I have not heard
All right.
that everybody that's cracked out on LSD has the
So
same
apparently
thing.
it's not all hallucinogens. It's really tied to a specific hallucinogen called DMT. I don't recall what that actually stands for anymore. I'm not big on my drug terminology, but so DMT, it's actually a natural chemical that even our bodies produce naturally. But when you take like high doses of it, it works like a hallucinogen. And the idea is like 95% of people who have taken DMT recreationally claim to have seen these little sort of mechanical elf alien creatures. And they claim they interact with them and there's some sort of intelligence going on there, and they all describe these same things. Like people on other sides of the planet who've never interacted before at all have the same experience. So there's a group of scientists who are now going to try and see if there's a way that we can actually scientifically communicate with these aliens that people are seeing when they're hallucinating on drugs. And people, I mean, somebody's funding this research. We should have been scientists, David. They'll fund all
We,
kinds of stuff.
oh yeah, yeah. The number of times I said, if I'd have known now, if I'd have known then what I know now, the number of bills I would have just sent for consulting services to
Oh my
USAID
gosh.
would have been astounding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would have been astounding. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm just a consultant. That's it. And it's a retainer.
Right. That's exactly it. So,
$27 million a month.
right, prove it's not valuable science.
Yeah, exactly. We're funding
You
things like there's the one thing. It was the one. This is hilarious. It's the shrimp on the treadmill.
know.
If you guys
I've
remember
seen that
that,
one. I've seen that one. That's a funny one.
that was actual money that was taken out of
Yeah.
you and my
They
taxes
put shrimp. They
and
literally put
everybody
shrimp
else.
on a treadmill.
Now, while it sounds funny, like, oh, it's not funny. Well, it is funny. Shrimp on treadmill. It's hilarious. If you watch it and have the music going to it, it's good. It's definitely worth it. You go on YouTube, shrimp on a treadmill. It's great. But it was really, the research it wasn't about, hey, what shoes work best on a shrimp on a treadmill. It was about respiratory. It was a respiratorial research program to kind of help out. I think it was the results of it would have or has improved COPD and things like that. So there are tangible things for it that even though we look at it and say, hey, it's completely ridiculous. However, I'm having
David,
a hard time seeing how I'm going to benefit from the aliens
well, David, look,
while
if
I'm
it
cracked
turns
out on
out that
whatever
there
this is.
are actually drug-induced aliens that we can communicate with, wouldn't you like to know that the stuff they can teach us? I mean, they can teach us all kinds of things: how to roll a sweet blunt, how to, the best way to take your DMT. I mean, these aliens obviously know where it's at. These guys party.
So okay, dude, where's my car comes to mind.
Dude, where's my
But
car?
also the movie Paul comes to mind,
Oh, that was a good
and
one. Yeah.
that's it's a kind of hidden gem.
It was underrated.
But
I
yeah,
agree. It was definitely underrated.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I have never tried. I will never try, even if
Right. So
it's
I'm
like,
not going to
hey,
take DMT
you're going to
just
talk to
to
the
figure
alien.
out
I
if
don't
I
know what.
see the
All right,
aliens.
hold on a second. I'm going to Google what the hell DMT is real quick.
All right,
What the
DMT.
hell is DMT? All right, here we go.
What is DMT?
DMT, exceptionally powerful, short-acting hallucinogen drug, produces intense, immersive, and often otherworldly psychedelic experiences.
Right.
So it's like listen to the movies in the 60s and listen to the music in the 60s and 70s. Basically, that's what it is. Okay, all right.
Right. Well, so it's one of those things that actually, like most biological life, produces it in a very small quantities naturally. Um, some plants produce a little bit more, which is how they're able to get it and get it in high enough doses that people can take it recreationally. But even our brains produce it. Um,
So I mean, I get it. I'm looking at the scientific, the actual chemical name here. Dimethyl tryptamine. Okay, dimethyltryptamine.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
dimethyltryptamine. Okay, all right.
dimethyltryptamine. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, there you go.
Because
That's
I've
it.
heard Joe Rogan talking about it, not
Oh,
because
there's
I
an L. Hold on a second. I need to zoom in. I don't have my reading glasses.
tryptamine.
Dimethyltryptamine. Okay, there it is. Okay, so
Yes.
I'm just looking here. It's like experience, and it has in parentheses. It has parentheses and then quotation marks inside of the parentheses. It says trip. So the experience, the trip, rapid intensity, smoked, blah, 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 immediate overwhelming experience, breakthrough state, launched out of there. None of this stuff sounds fun to me.
Elvis.
Maybe for somebody, intelligent beings often described as machine elves.
Yeah, I told you they all have this experience. So Elvis put this in the comments. Dimethyl tryptamine is a compound found in various plants and animals that's used in a mind-altering drug. Uh, in uh, in long enough doses, DMT can give you a high and distort your senses so that you see or feel things that aren't really there. So it's a hallucinogen. But
So did you Google? Okay, Elvis. Did you Google that or did you know it?
I mean, who doesn't know
Because
what
there's a
dimethyltryptamine is? It's a
well,
common
I don't know.
household.
I literally just looked at the hey encounters and visual breakthroughs, rapid intensity, ego dissolution. You lose your sense of self. None of this stuff sounds fun to me. Like
Even if you could actually
I
speak with a mechanical elf creature, David, that doesn't sound fun to you.
no, no, it does not. It does not.
Elvis says it's one of his prescriptions.
That's one of his
No, it's not.
prescriptions. He did put the knot on the
He
end of
put the
it.
knot on
Like
there.
we're
Yeah,
we're
not.
back in 1996 again. Not psych,
Psych you out.
Adelic.
Psych it. All right, all right. We're having
Oh,
too
you
much fun
liked
with
that,
this.
didn't you? You liked that,
But
didn't you?
somebody's paying for this research, and I'd like to find out how I can make up crazy shit that somebody can pay me to do too. All right, let's see. Oh, here's one that you're actually not going to see on the news. Now, we don't do politics on this show. But David, did you hear New York City's new mayor? He wanted to open a bunch of free new grocery stores. They did actually open one, and in less than a week, it's closed down and completely empty. I can't imagine
Well,
why.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what would cause a problem like that.
Right.
Um, yeah,
So
I
we don't
did.
do
I
politics. This
did
is as
get to
close to
see.
politics as we get, I think.
I don't know. Last week, man. Last week, if if we didn't if we didn't do politics, we dry hump the hell out of politics last week.
That's our next T-shirt.
We don't talk politics, but we'll dry hump the hell out of it. And it really goes back to again to kind of the core topic tonight of don't piss off your core. I mean, really, that's what the if you drill down to everything is, and that's kind of the honest opinion, or the honest and straightforward way of saying it. Like, don't piss off your core. Now, I'm sorry, folks. Behind me is the ocean, but
Right?
you guys can't see that because it's
No,
now
it's
dark.
dark. Yeah, we just see the
It's
reflection
dark.
of your room,
So
which is a nice looking room
yeah,
though.
just it's not bad. I mean, I finally after all week being here got him to come up and tinker with the AC. Like I'm a
Did you have
fat
to
man
hack it
from New
again to make
York,
it
upstate New
colder than it
York.
should ever
Well, I
naturally
haven't.
be in a hotel room? David, by the way, everybody, David
So
did this in a hotel room. He and I were sharing a room a while ago, and he literally looked online to figure out how to hack the hotel um, thermostat because it wouldn't go cold enough for him. This is
yeah,
also the guy who,
yeah.
when it's snowing outside, opened the window in New York because it was too hot for him in the room.
This is true. And what's funny was, man, we share rooms a lot. But we're in New
Don't
York
judge.
City. We're in New York City, and I mean, it was November. It's November, so it's not super cold.
It was
It's
snowing.
cool, right?
It was
It's
literally
cool.
snowing.
So, unfortunately for him, he didn't know that I snuck over there and opened the window. B,
Oh, I found out
his
eventually.
bed was closest. His bed was closest to the window.
Right.
So by the
Yeah.
time I got the benefits of the nice, fresh, carcinogen-filled New York air, he was a popsicle over there.
Oh
It
yeah.
was
It's
it was a good time.
I was like Jack Nicholas Nicholson, one of the Nichols at the end of The Shining. In the when he's like frozen outside, he has the
With the cold
he's like
frozen, yeah,
blue and has the yeah. That was me.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
So
So
the free,
the
so
free
a
grocery
store that
store it
gave away
failed.
everything for free didn't last. Okay.
I
So
can't imagine
nobody is
why.
shocked.
And this is
Nobody is
also something,
shocked,
by the way, that
and we're
the
moving
big
on.
news outlets are not talking about. This is you can't find this anywhere.
Oh, of course
But
not.
less than a
Nobody's going to talk about it.
yeah. So go figure.
When what is expected happens, when what is expected to happens, is it really news?
Right. That's so on
But
the
you can get 150 pens for $192,
yeah. Thanks
or a
Vistaprint.
custom polo for $63.04. Vistaprint. I've
Vista.
actually bought a handful of things from Vistaprint. Actually, pretty good stuff.
They do a pretty good job. I would love to see their ad budget because man, their ads are everywhere, constantly, everywhere I go,
Everywhere.
anywhere on the
Yes.
internet. Their ad budget
Yeah.
must be insane. How about you take some of the ad budget, put it towards the cost of your products, lower the price of your products a little bit. You'll get more people coming to your shop to pay a little bit less because you're not spending this much on ads. It's insane how much they're paying on ads. Anyway,
It is quite high.
all right. So
But did
staying
you just
on
say? Did
the
you just invite somebody for a race to the bottom? Okay, all right. So we got free. New York City closes. What do you got next? What do you got
so
next for me?
staying on the completely non-political side, here's another one that you're not going to hear too many politicians talking about. The House
Yeah,
has killed efforts to release all congressional sexual misconduct and harassment reports. So I don't know if people realize this. This is on both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat.
yep.
They actually have a massive budget specifically designated to pay off
And
people
slush
for,
fund
for
money.
hush money for hush money for sexual misconduct and harassment lawsuits. This is actually part of
Yeah.
their budget. And there was it Nancy Mace? Say what you want about whatever politician, but she tried to push through a vote to say, "Hey, let's release all of these sexual misconduct and harassment reports to the
So
public. It's the public's money. The public has a right to know." And guess what? They overwhelmingly shot it down. The vote on this was
yeah.
357
Well,
to 65 shot it down. So you can't say one side
So
or the other.
yeah, they voted not necessarily shut it down, but they voted to send it to committee.
To a committee,
And I don't know if
a
any of you.
private committee.
Well, it's the ethics committee, something along
Yeah,
those lines,
and they're
something
going to
like that.
review it behind closed doors. You're never going to hear about this again.
Yes, yeah, this is gone. It's dead. So when you read this, it will usually use the words "effectively killing it," because I don't know if you guys have ever had anything go to a committee. When things go to a committee,
Yeah,
with the very rare exceptions, I'm actually working in that rare exception this week. When things go to a committee, that's where shit goes to die.
yeah. Nothing ever gets done by committee. Anything that has a committee behind it, it's a dead end.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. So
this is where
great
your tax
job,
dollars are going, people.
Nancy. great job, Nancy. You didn't have a chance from the beginning, but kudos for trying.
Right.
Kudos, absolute kudos for trying.
Yep. And this is something you'll
Jiminy
never hear.
Christmas. Here we
Yeah.
are again this week on the Underdog Journey. Let's dry hump some more politics.
All right, that's the end of the politics. This next one
Oh,
was actually a
good.
billboard that was seen right here in Central Ohio. You ready for this, David? It's tax season,
All right.
so
Tax
everybody's
season.
trying to get get you hyped up for tax season. Here's a billboard for a tax preparer. I'll let you guys. This is this was a real billboard.
This is an advertise. Okay, so
This is an advertisement
yeah.
for
So
ADP.
ADP, yeah. So we have done a lot of shows and a lot of things because West is marketing. I do sales and business management and things of that nature where we talk about just complete misses, right? Complete. God, that was terrible. What the hell are they thinking? Let's see. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Gee, let's post that on the same screen that we have "Let Groomers Groom" on.
It's all related, man. It's all related.
Oh man, alive! So somebody at ADP should have been like, you know what?
Oh
In
boy.
today's climate and vernacular, perhaps we can. Um,
I'm curious how many people
uh,
signed off on this. This is part of a campaign. Somebody had to. Not only did a
you
copywriter get behind this, a designer had to get behind
yes,
it, and it was probably signed off on by like some sort of a at least lower level VP.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So multiple people signed off on this. Let groomers groom.
Oh,
Let ADP
yeah. I
do
mean,
payroll
get rid.
taxes.
I can't see. I can't see. Let me see if I can zoom in on the screen over here. I
So
can't.
it's a guy.
Um,
It's a dog groomer. It's a guy holding a
well,
blow dryer.
that's what I thought.
I
So,
think
okay,
he's grooming a
great.
dog.
So,
Otherwise, he's doing something
with
very
this,
inappropriate to a robot.
as well, okay then. But I'm saying, all right, you want to stay with this theme? Let's stylist style and put
Anything.
a
Anything.
lady or a guy or
Let
anybody
dog
in that
groomers groom.
and
Anything.
let dog groomers. Yes.
Let
You run
mechanics
your business.
mechanic.
We'll handle payroll tax, but for the love of Pete, not let groomers groom. Gee, Christmas. This is a very classic. Read the room, man.
Right?
Read the
This is
room.
a so the guy in this photo, I don't know if he's like a model or if he's like an actual dog groomer on the job, but he was probably like really looking forward to like having this he could like show off to his family and show his friends, "Hey, I'm on this
And
billboard. This
now
is
he
awesome." And now he's
and
like,
now
"Oh,
he's driving
don't
down.
no.
Now he's
This is
driving down
bad.
the road, and people are like, "Is that you?" Nope, that's not
Are you
me.
are you
I'm from Buffalo.
right, he suddenly get all of his
Are
friends and
you the
family are
groomer?
calling the FBI on him like,
Yeah. Like, hey, they talked to here with
Now, it would be really, really,
the
really funny if it were one of the Clintons, or if it were like,
Oh, gee, Merry Christmas. I'm not with him. Actually, it's very hard for a sniper to get me from back there, so I'm good.
no, okay. If it were, let's try and if it were a part of the British royal family, it'd be really funny if that were the case.
Oh yeah, that was better. Gee, Merry Christmas.
All right, I'm trying to think of more appropriate. Okay, it'd be really funny. There's no way that no, those were funny enough.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think those are good. We're good. I think it's good.
You just stop there. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So basically, let ADP do your
Do
payroll
your payroll
taxes,
taxes.
and ADP let somebody else handle your marketing.
Right. Oh,
this
that would be
this
a
does
great counter campaign.
it,
If like an agency put a billboard right
agent.
next to that and said,
Yes,
"Let
yes,
XYZ agency do your marketing. Let ADP do your payroll taxes."
yes.
Something like that.
Now this is where the way that my crazy freaking mind works is this is an opportunity.
It is.
ADP, you need a new marketing agency. Let me introduce you to Torch Dynamic, and perhaps they can, when this idea gets floated by, they go, no, we're not doing that.
Right.
Which we're not doing that.
Exactly.
But yeah, good for you.
ADP, I will be calling you very soon. I'm
Yes.
sure they've already received lots of phone calls though. I have no doubt.
I mean, I want to call ADP too, but mainly because my company switched over to using them, and my payroll hasn't been correct since they've done it. So
You
I
should
don't.
send this photo to your ADP, whatever rep you're dealing with over there, and be like,
Are you guys busy grooming dogs? What the hell, man?
right. Do you guys happen to have
The good
like
stuff.
private island somewhere that we don't know about? What's
Oh,
happening over there?
gee, many Christmas. All right, moving on.
Moving on. All right. Do you remember David? The CEO of McDonald's trying to eat his own
Yes,
hamburger.
I am loving this. I am loving this.
This
The
guy,
Burger King, the Wendy's,
yeah,
and Five Guys CEO got involved on it today.
a lot of people
Unfortunately,
thought this would just blow over, and it did not.
no. So what's funny is the Five Guys one that came out. I think it was today, even maybe late yesterday. But between yesterday and today, the Five Guys CEO did the same thing, and the comments on, well, there was his whole salary. Did he mortgage his house? I mean, there's a lot in there. Five Guys, you should have known you're not fast food because your $17 hamburger is normal, the normal price. You shouldn't have gotten into this fray because people are lambasting you right now. All right, go ahead, play. Let me see it. Let me have it.
Yeah, all right, here's the video again, and it's just. Let's turn the audio back up here.
Here it is.
Here it is. I'm a
This
real
is something
human.
that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is.
Why the hell would you test it there? Portugal. Okay, listen to him. Portugal, Germany, and Canada.
Right.
And he's testing out. Okay.
All right.
You know what? One of the best, largest, and most accurate test markets in the world is
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio.
You wouldn't think so, but it totally is.
You would not think so, but Columbus, Ohio is one of the absolute, it's for people who actually want to succeed in doing things, that's where they test. This is not a word of a lie. It's very true.
Yeah, we actually have a really broad, series of potential audience customers.
Yeah, the audience, the demographics
Elvis, given their marketing, they might just do that, Elvis.
Yeah, they might actually run the ad over there to help save them from this thing. All right, let's go ahead and play it. Let's keep playing it. What do they call it? The Big Arch.
The Big Arch. And a guy who's never even looked at a cheeseburger or a burger in his life is gonna try and eat this thing. It's hilarious.
So good.
Well, lizard people can't process cooked meat, so
this guy cannot process cooked meat. Look at this guy. This is the kind of guy who
he's clearly a lizard person.
At least 80% of his meals are like salmon salads or something like that. I don't know.
Right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know.
Just so you know.
Here we go. First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun on it. Did he
open a package to a burger and be like, holy cow.
Holy cow, it's a burger. And I really like how they didn't even try and pretty it up. Like, he's looking at this thing like, should we reshoot this thing? This is an ugly ass burger.
Yeah, I mean, what happened here? You guys couldn't put lettuce cap on there. You had to go shredded lettuce. Come on, man, clean this thing up.
Man.
We've got two.
Also, guaranteed that's not a Sprite. That's just sparkling water. 100%. That's not a Sprite.
Oh, I like
this
Sprite.
Guy watches his carbs.
2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious Big Arch sauce. And of course,
isn't that
lettuce.
just a double quarter pounder?
It's basically, yeah.
So much going on.
Double quarter pounder,
this.
yeah.
First of all, let's.
Also, look at the way he holds this burger when he picks it up. He can't even hold a burger. He's like, how do I even attack this thing?
Let's try to get this thing. I don't even know how to attack it. God.
He literally admits to it.
You pick the burger up. It's not,
So much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out.
That I knew already.
All right, the moment of truth.
Also, look, there's barely even any meat taken off that thing. There's barely even like a little indent where he bit the thing.
Mm.
He's disgusted right now.
That is so good. That's a big bite for a big arch.
Oh, that's a bad looking burger.
So,
That does not look appetizing.
Like, I want to zoom in so bad. I'm sorry. Oh, I can. Oh, great. Okay, here we go. So,
like, they should have at least like
the top patty like didn't have anything taken off of it. The bottom patty had the smallest amount. He got
a little bit of bread.
So he's got a massive overbite, clearly, because or the underbite. I'm sorry, underbite, because look how large the section taken out of the top bun versus how little was taken out of the bottom bun. How did he do that? Because the top bun has a larger section taken out. The top patty has the least amount taken out. The bottom patty has the most taken out, but the bottom bun has the least taken out.
Because he's holding it all weird. He doesn't even know how to hold a burger. He's like, how do I even eat this thing?
It's all fake.
But so the funniest thing,
it's AI.
So this guy clearly doesn't eat McDonald's food. He's the CEO, doesn't eat it. But to your point, Elvis has a comment here.
I can't see the comments. I don't know what's happening.
It looks like a burger. It looks like a burger a DoorDash driver delivered to someone who didn't tip. It actually kind of does. By the way, don't eat that if that's what it looks like. But so you're right, David. So other CEOs of other burger places have been just really jumping on this opportunity because McDonald's. This was a bad look, man. So you can see all like they're just everybody ripping on this guy. This guy can't catch a break. And there's even this here where it's
all right, the moment of truth.
Wendy's, A&W, Burger King.
That's a burger.
Taco Bell.
That is so good. I love this product.
Did you say Taco Bell?
I'm going to do a taste.
Yeah, I saw one from Taco, one of the executives, might have been a CEO from Taco Bell, and like he really like hammed it up. He's like he even took a tiny little bite. He nibbled it to prove it's just a rip on this guy.
Right now,
we love this burger product, which most people call a burger.
Of course, we're starting with our Wendy's sweater patty.
Burger
fresh,
product.
Never frozen beef. Absolutely nothing bad.
Don't smash the
I'm going to do a
burger,
tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know.
I'm going to do a tasting right now, but this is actually my lunch.
Oh, of course, you got to have a Frosty with a burger. Is this set up today? Oh, wait. Our machines are always working.
So the test kitchen, so I don't know if anybody knows this, over not very far from your actual house, actual house where you actually have actual lunches, is the Wendy's corporate office where they have the test kitchen there. It's right down the street from you.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever get a chance,
I pass by it every day.
to go. If you ever get a chance to go to it, it is amazing.
I've never been inside, but I pass by every day.
It smells like a clean Wendy's, and so where I live, we have one Wendy's that was really bad for a very long time, and now they've just opened up a new one. So our hopes are very high because I want to tell you, Wendy's hits different in New York than it does in Ohio. When you it was like where we lived in Ohio, right there in Powell and Dublin, and right there off of the Sawmill 161ish area. Those Wendy's live in fear every day that
executives,
corporate people and executives are just going to walk in for their actual lunch, right? So they are phenomenally top notch. Or if you go to the one there in Shawnee Hills, which is one where they used to shoot the commercials with Dave Thomas, those Wendy's, I mean, they're second to none. But over in New York, they're like, lackadaisical. Like, you want mustard, put it on yourself.
Right, exactly.
And the food is crazy. Small dig on the ice cream machine. I didn't even catch that. Great job, Nikki.
Yeah,
Great job.
Wendy's CEO was like,
I did not even catch that.
Should I have a Frosty with my lunch? He's like, oh, by the way, our machines always work. Because McDonald's, that's the thing. Their machines are always broken. And there's actually a whole documentary that somebody made about the McDonald's milkshake machines and why they're always broken.
Yeah.
And holy smokes. Yeah.
Well, the company that owns the actual milkshake machines and the ice cream machines put in sensors and analytics to find out when they had machines down, because they found out that it's not the machines that were down, it was the lazy ass employees that said, I don't want to be bothered to go make a flurry or whatever the hell it is that
Well,
McDonald's
I
has.
think the deal is the company that makes the ice cream machines or the milkshake machines is owned by McDonald's, it's like a subsidiary, and all of the McDonald's franchises are required to use this machine, and the only people who are allowed to work on this machine work for the company, who also it's a subsidiary of McDonald's. So it's this big like they're kind of doing what Red Lobster did, where the Red Lobster parent corporation owned
The food,
the owned the food distributors.
the food distributors where
food
you had to
distributors.
buy from them,
Right.
and then they jacked the prices way up, and the individual, that
Yes,
that
it's a
is
similar
a
thing.
that is a business. That is a business. So if you were so inclined right now, one of you other food restaurant folk out there, to take the place of Red Lobster. Now, that may not seem glorious to certain people, but if
Oh,
you
I have
had
such great memories of Red Lobster as a kid. I
yeah,
loved it.
if you had a, I mean, what do you think Red Lobster does? You know what? I'm gonna look it up real quick. What
Okay,
Red
what's the question?
Lobster? What? Oh, son of a biscuit! What revenue does Red Lobster do per annum?
Probably not
I
much
like
now.
using the word annum. 2 billion, 2.6. So if
Oh,
you
really?
could step in and do 2.6 B a year, I don't care whether you think of Red Lobster. I mean, and I'm not a Red Lobster fan. I love their Cheddar Bay biscuits. I mean,
I was gonna say at
I'll,
least 80% of
I'll,
that is coming from their biscuits because that's
oh
where
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
money maker.
80% is all the biscuits. Um, that market, and if you could, so you could take the franchise owners and they could just literally file bankruptcy on their things and say, I'm out and
Yeah.
take over the Red Lobster market right now. The Red Lobster, when I say market demographic, the demographic and psychographic. So the geographic's going to be all different. But if you could take over, we'll stick with demographic, easier for people to consume. If you could be the
Unlike this
worst that
burger.
takes over at 2.6, yeah, unlike this burger from McDonald's that this clearly lizard person is trying to eat. Oh, we're so getting sued. Anyway, the CEO of McDonald's filed a suit against this unknown freaking podunk
Those sons of
podcast for
bitches.
calling him a
How
lizard
dare
person.
they?
Sons of bitches. No, but there's right now. If someone was so inclined to take that business, that's $2.6 billion.
Yeah.
Hey, Ruby Tuesdays, you are dying on the vine right now.
Oh man, we spent so much time and money at Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah, and then well, you know what? That actually feeds into our key topic tonight. So let's go on. Let's see what's happening here. Come on, let's see some more of this. And I'll
All
try
right.
to shut up for a couple minutes, but it's not going to happen.
You can try. It's not going to happen though. Yeah, you're right. So the
It does.
next
It
one
never does.
is Donut Labs. So
Okay,
we're
so
getting
we
back
got
to
a new
this.
so we got the I do not believe. Okay,
I
so
donut believe.
okay, fair enough. Here you go. Let's see what we got.
All right. So at CES in January, Donut Labs unveiled the fact that they claim to have a completely safe, solid state battery. It's supposed to accept 200,000 100,000 charges from zero to full charge, which is like 200 years worth of charges if you charge it from zero every single day. And it's supposed to like be completely renewable resources that produce this thing. No rare earth, so they say it has no lithium, no cobalt involved, anything like that. No titanium. They say it can perform in like it's supposed to have like 0 to 100% charge in like 5 minutes. Working like super extreme temperatures, super cold, super hot. Basically, all the things that everybody ever wished a battery could do, but the laws of physics don't allow for. They claim they can do. So, 2 weeks ago, they ran a first test of the charging ability of this thing, and it performed pretty well. It went from 0 to 80% in about 4.5 minutes. So it didn't quite make the full charge in under 5 minutes like they claim, but still pretty impressive. That's a good charge. Now, this was the only test this facility did. It was a VTT. It's Finland's, actually, it's a very renowned testing facility. So it's a legitimate source. But they only tested this one thing. A week later, they came out with another test. That was, I think they revealed it on Monday. This new test. And they wanted to see how it would perform under some extreme temperatures. So, by the way, the first test, they also found that when it was charging, the testing facility actually had to stop the charging at a certain point because the battery reached like over 200 degrees Fahrenheit during the testing. So they stopped it just for safety precautions. But the battery still technically performed close to what they said it would. Now, here's the other test they ran, which was how does the battery perform under these different extreme temperatures? Let's give it a watch and see what they say. Maybe.
Hi, it's Marco from Donut Lab.
Marco.
You are watching our battery proof series called I Donut Believe. In this series, we demonstrate the capabilities of Donut Battery, which is the world's first solid-state battery used in production vehicles. Today's topic is hot performance test. In this episode, we prove that the cell can remain stable in conditions that are almost double what typical lithium-ion cells can operate in. These conditions are 80 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. Now let's go and watch the test.
Thanks, Marco. We're back at VTT Battery Lab looking at independent...
Do you want to watch the whole thing, or do you mean just kind of tell you what happened?
I am now invested, so
all right, let's
I need to let
third-party test results.
I need to let Vila Filippo go through with his hair doing his thing here.
Let's see it. Oh, by the way, I do want to remind everybody that the CEO, this is also the same guy who claimed about 2-3 years ago that his company at the time created the world's first artificial superintelligence, which, again, everybody said wasn't possible, and it kind of quickly went away, and nobody's talking about it now. But he did totally create Donut Labs, so let's see the testing. Let's see how that went.
All right, Vive Pipo.
Research Center of Finland. The full report made by VTT is again available to download at idonutbelieve.com. So let's dive in. As we know, lithium-ion requires very careful temperature control to avoid damaging and accelerating aging of the cell, but also to avoid the worst-case scenario of thermal runaway. This means lithium-ion batteries have a very narrow operating window as it comes to temperature, limited to maximum 60 degrees Celsius or sometimes up to 70 degrees, making operation like fast charging in hot ambient temperatures a real big challenge. Much like in the fast charging test, we are again taking temperatures much higher, and the cell can still easily discharge with 1C. In the charging test we showed earlier, you might have noticed in one of the runs we hit a safety limit of 90 degrees Celsius and needed to run that test again to get proper apples-to-apples comparison data. But it's important to note that this was not a safety limit defined by the cell, but instead just a very conservative safety limit for that particular test setup. Today we're taking it even higher and showing how the cell operates safely in 100 degrees Celsius for extended periods of time and can even access more energy capacity than in room temperature. This test setup is quite simple. The cell is sitting on an aluminum profile and a steel plate is placed on top of the cell to provide a gentle amount of pressure to keep it in place and to reduce hotspots like a battery pack structure would. The test started with a standard 1C discharge capacity test with constant current until 2.7 volt cutoff. And starting with the same standard capacity test for every independent test sets a benchmark capacity for the cell in room temperature, but it also proves that the cells under testing are indeed exactly the same. The same capacity, same voltage curve, same dimensions physically, with some slight variance in measurements expected due to slight differences in testing conditions. Let's first talk about the 80-degree test. After setting the benchmark capacity,
all right, we can fast forward a little bit
back up to 4.15 volts in room temperature and kept there
like,
for 1 hour.
I want to go through every word, every syllable, and every one of these graphs to find out exactly what it is, because they're talking about testing, and I'm like, wait, to what standard did you test?
Right, exactly. So if we can just go, I can just sort of break down. So we
All
don't
right,
bore
break
the
it
heck
down.
out of
Break it
everybody.
down now.
Break it down now.
We
All
can
right,
we
so,
can put this link in we can put the link in the description below in the comments, and you can follow it. Whatever. Because let's see. I'm looking here, right here. I'm looking at a plank that this thing is setting on, and then a massive weight sitting on top of it. That is not quality energy density.
That is
first
not
and
great
foremost.
quality control. So they claim the piece of metal they're putting on top is an aluminum brick to work essentially as a heat sink to stop from individual hotspots, to reduce individual hotspots.
I'm sorry, but your battery needs to be tested by itself. You can't have a cheater code in it, because if you can have a heat sink on a battery, regardless whether it's to prevent hotspots or not, it's still a what's the word? Fucking heat sink.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
It's still a heat sink. It's still a heat sink. You are still dissipating thermal energy in a manner that you're not going to be able to apply. And if that's how you apply it in application, think about what the weight of your vehicle is going to be. That when you have a battery that's that big, and then you got to have a heat sink on either side of it that's that big, is that really going to be quality energy density?
Yeah.
It's not.
Additionally, so the first test they ran was, can it charge as quickly as they said it did? It charged almost as quickly as they said it did, which was relatively impressive. But it reached temperatures,
but only got up to 80%,
of almost
and they got up to
200 degrees for just one of these battery packs. Now, as you and I talked
is that 200 degrees American or 200 degrees Canadian?
Sorry, 100 degrees Celsius, so about 195 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
So, but as you and I talked about, if that was only one small cell that was tested and reached that temperature. If you have 1,000 of these things
with compounding thermal
energy,
yeah,
the compounding thermal energy, the temperature, it's gonna be each cell's 200 degrees, but that's gonna compound as there's more of these built up in a small space. Additionally, you have to
I don't
look
want to
at
be in that car.
You have that look at the wires that connect them. Look at the plastic coverings on these things. Think of the adhesives that hold all of this together. The battery
there's adhesives, epoxies. There's a lot to it.
Even if the battery itself technically can't go into thermal runaway, everything that is packaging this battery up will melt and will itself catch fire, which is kind of thermal runaway. In a way,
and then when the conductor insulators melt, and then you go straight from positive to negative, you've got a boom fire. Okay,
right,
so what's next? High temperature performance test.
So this was the high performance. So this is where they heated up. They put the battery in essentially inside an oven, and they said, can we discharge this battery at a controlled rate in these high temperatures? And they claim to have done so. Here's an interesting thing, though. I wish I pulled up the video. I watched another guy, and maybe I can find it, and maybe I can get the link and we can watch the video. There's another guy who actually did the exact same tests on with using NMC batteries. NMC, so it's a lithium, it's still a lithium battery.
Lithium ion, and that is the more volatile version of the lithium ion battery.
Yes. So the first test that he did, he vastly overcharged the thing. He charged the thing at much higher speed than it should have, with a higher voltage than it should have. Essentially, running the same test that they did here, and it actually reached 80 degrees Celsius. So actually, significantly lower than this test reached. The NMC batteries reached a lower temperature. Now they were still relatively dangerous for a lithium-ion battery, but it reached a lower temperature than this. Additionally, he ran this same test, and it performed almost as well. The interesting thing is, if you actually go back and you look at the rates of charge and discharge according to these two tests, they're really, really, really similar to NMC chemistry. Like, really similar. And a lot of people are saying, look, hypothetically, let's say they do have a solid-state-ish battery. It's very possible that it's going to be a sodium chemistry, probably like a sodium titanium chemistry, that has characteristics of an NMC in performance. But at the same time, we do know that there needs to be some sort of a system to transport these ions back and forth within the battery. That's essentially how it works.
Yes.
Even with solid state,
Yes.
you still need some sort of a mechanism to transport the ions. Now,
it's got
what that chemistry
electrolytes.
happens to be,
It's what plants
crave.
crave.
That's so people don't seem to understand. It's not magical. These things, you can't just have a brick of nothing and it works like a battery. You still need to transport
It's not
these
like
ions
it's not like it's this hot sand.
hot fresh sand delivered to your door. I gotta look that company back up. We gotta do where are they now?
We gotta see if they're completely defunct. Yeah, and I hope they are.
So I was thinking about Donut Labs and the I Donut Believe website, and I was thinking, okay, so here's my thinking behind why we chose tonight's topic. So I was thinking about Donut Labs, and I was thinking, okay, why? Let's say hypothetically they created exactly what they say they created. Why would they be doing this? Why would they be jumping through these hoops of, every week they're going to create a new test with very, very small results that come out. Here's the next results are going to come out in 3 days, 9 hours. Why would they do this? Because here's the thing. If they did create this brand new revolutionary battery, if they released it to the world and said, hey, guess what, world? Here's this thing that we created. We sent it out these third-party independent agencies to test. They could own the entire battery market overnight. Without a doubt, without question. But instead they're playing these games of, oh, are we legitimate? Are we not? We're going to play this, oh, I do not believe. You don't know if we're real or not because we're not telling you all the information. But if they would just tell the world, hey, we're real. Here it is. Here's how it works. And these third-party agencies can give you all the information you could possibly want. We've already put it in X, Y, and Z products that can be tested right now. You can book a test drive with this car company over here who already has our technology in it. See how it performs. But they're not. So that brings up the idea of, are they trying to hide something? Are they doing this to possibly drive interest to hopefully get bigger investors to put more money into it? I don't know. Because again, if they just came out and were upfront with people about if it's totally real and they were just upfront about how it all works, they would own the world right now. They would literally have changed the laws of physics to make it fit within this battery. Now, here's an interesting thing that I heard somebody hint at, but didn't flat out say. Do you know when you're looking for a Chinese food restaurant and you always see a #1 Chinese, best Chinese food in the world, or you're walking through a cityscape and you see a sign in the window for the world's best cup of coffee? What if?
Congratulations!
Yeah, what if Donut Labs didn't create
There's a few people that got that joke.
What if Donut Labs didn't create a brand new solid state battery? What if they came out with a really decent battery or a supercapacitor that performs like a battery, and they just call it solid state like that, like it's the name is solid state, right? Like if I just came out with a brand new type of shitty beer and I say I name it the world's best beer,
Bobby Bob beer.
I'm not lying.
Oh,
the
dear
name
Lord.
is the world's best beer. You may not think it's the world's best, but it's
West. I got problems right now, bud. I don't know if I can continue on this podcast if you don't finish that sentence. Bobby Bob's beer. Bobby Bob beer.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bobby Bob beer, best beer in Vietnam.
What are you talking about?
Bobby Bob beer, only beer in Vietnam. It's good morning Vietnam, man. Where you at?
I'm not up on.
Where you at?
I've never seen the whole movie. I've never seen the whole thing.
It's one of Forrest Whitaker's best lines in all of it. Definitely better than anything he had in Star Wars. Are you kidding me? Forrest Whitaker is great.
I don't know which eye to look at. I can't handle it. It doesn't do it for me. Can't even respond.
I did.
Elvis says,
I did.
buy stock in Brondo. It's the plant. It's the drink plants crave.
Yeah, Brondo. It's got electrolytes. It's what. So Elvis. All right, look here, bud. I am in. I do a lot of meetings with people with energy, whatever, and I do presentations, and literally in my presentations I drop movie quotes.
Yeah.
And because I have to deal with lithium-ion batteries, one of my quotes is, and we're talking about the electrolytic solvents into ethyl methyl carbonates and other species or other chemicals in those species. I talk about them a lot. So I'm like, hey, in order to transfer electricity, positive and negative, we use so the battery's got electrolytes. It's what plants crave, and I do that.
Yeah.
So I love it. And I was in Chicago. And I defecate you not, right? I'm there. I'm in the meeting, and I'm just in my zone doing my thing. And I'm in this. I got this conference room. I got the executives. I got my people doing this stuff. I got people there, and I'm like, in order to transfer the electrons from one side of the battery to the other and through the separator, which is the Swiss cheese we talked about earlier, the battery manufacturers use a series of these chemicals, and those are electrolytes. So the battery has electrolytes, and I went like this, and I'm about to say it's what plants crave. And three people, including the president, the CEO, is like, it's what plants crave.
That's awesome.
I stopped the presentation and went around and high-fived all of them. Everybody else in the room is like, what the fuck
I don't know what's going on.
Just happened? Like, we don't know what just happened. What just happened here? And I'm like, are we best friends now?
Exactly.
So it was absolutely great. But yeah, okay. All right, I don't know where we're going with this, but yeah, I mean, it's yeah. You got to get that Brondo. It's what plants crave. It was absolutely phenomenal. Literally stop show. I was in Chicago doing a thing. Stop the freaking thing when they're like, it's what plants crave. And I'm like, oh my God, I found my people. I live here now. It's great. It's good stuff.
So this is what got me thinking about today's topic, is the idea that, look, one of two things is taking place here. Either Donut Labs has not created what they claim to have, and they are just doing this for hype, trying to build up interest, trying to possibly get a bunch more investors so they can eventually build it, because they're onto something maybe, but they're not quite there yet. Or they have created a groundbreaking, physics-breaking, laws of thermodynamics breaking new battery that is absolutely going to 100% change the world. But they've received the worst marketing advice in the history of time. It's got to be one of those two things. David, what's your theory about what they've created?
I think, okay, so this is I get to say this because I get to use the words I think, right? Which is purely my opinion.
Well, therefore you are.
Yes. Is absolute bullshit.
What do you think they made?
Absolute bullshit. People who make things like this, now, first of all, you're killed by the CIA. Okay, that's the way things work. You have a super carburetor. You run out of the restaurant and you go, they killed me. You fall over dead. That's how it goes. And for those who got that reference, you don't think they made a battery
that can handle 100,000 charges?
Hot, fresh sand delivered to your door.
You don't want to buy a donut battery now so your grandchildren can have all the battery capacity they could possibly need?
I'm not going to put a donut battery in my will. It's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, when you have a product, when you have something that does what you say it's going to do, you prove it. You don't, hey, I could do this. And then again, we've talked about this with the temperature. We don't know what the chemicals. They haven't released what the chemicals are.
They have not released the chemistry. No.
They haven't released the chemistry. They haven't released the anything more than the form that we've seen there. And let's look at a battery that's this thick, that has a aluminum block on top of it and an aluminum block on the bottom of it. I mean, you could potentially, this is one of the things we've talked about.
Calm down, Elizabeth Holmes.
Oh, that was cold. Yes. We've talked in the past about technically this works theoretically. Technically, this works theoretically, which is a strange way to say something. If you have to say it that way, technically, this works theoretically. So yes, we can have hot sand. We keep picking on that. It's not really fair to hot sand. Hot sand is actually hot. I've stepped on it and it burns my feet. I'm hoping that
right there, David.
Hopefully that I can get out here on the sand in the next day or two and actually possibly burn my feet. Anyway, but it is possible to do. The math will work out and say, I'm going to get 0.000000001 VDC or VDC of charge, positive, right? When you start taking that theoretical and you try to take those principles and put it into something that's applicable and create a test or a design to create XYZ device, yes, theoretically you can get the 0.000000001 VDC. You can do that. But if you try to get one VDC, now when I say VDC, I'm a nerd, so volts.
What's volts DC?
DC, volts of direct current.
Yes.
When you try to get that, it falls apart. So while yes, the M drive or the IM drive or theoretically that functions, but in reality it simply does not.
Right.
Yeah, yes, there are a lot of things that we can run the math with that says, yes, you're going to get this microscopic voltage in the positive. But when you start trying to scale it, it falls apart.
And that's the interesting thing here. So scale is absolutely going to be the problem here. So
yeah.
So I kind of took it a step further with my thinking. I was like, okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say, hypothetically, let's say they did create this super battery that does all these amazing groundbreaking things. Let's say it actually works. And let's say they did receive the worst marketing advice possible, and they are jumping through all these hoops and not being upfront and playing the will they, won't they game. Oh, is it real? Is it not real? You don't know yet because we're not giving you all the information. But let's say it is real. And let's say in 6 months we do actually eventually get all the information that proves it's real. For the rest of history, for the rest of time, Donut Labs is always going to have this hanging over their heads. Is always going to have this reputation of, can I really trust what they're saying? Are they just playing games with me? Are they not giving me the information? Can I actually believe what they say? Because they have a history of playing this game. They're ruining their reputation right now by playing these games. Versus, like I said in the first place, if they initially came out and they said, hey, guess what? CES, we've already given our technology to these third-party agencies. They've all tested it. It's already in X, Y, and Z test vehicles. Let's take some influencers and high-end people whose voices actually matter out for test drives. Let's show them how it works. Hey, world, guess what? The entire world is changing right now because of this technology. And overnight, they'd be a $1 trillion company if they did just that. But they're not, and it makes you wonder why.
The number of hey, Donuts Labs, Hertz Donut,
Hertz Donut.
I play dumbest joke in the
and they always fall.
Dumbest joke in the world. But I mean, what dad doesn't like it, right? I mean,
it's the best.
Donut Labs. Donut Labs. You were at CES. I know you know that I know you were at CES because I was at CES, knowing that you know that I know that you were at CES. Now, at CES, how many products did you see that operated almost entirely off of lithium-ion batteries? From bird feeders, which, for the love of Pete, how did two, not
just one, but two,
bird feeder with a freaking lithium-ion battery-powered webcam meet innovation dynamics and requirements? Yeah, the innovation award. But two of them make it. But the 75 robots lawnmowers that were all absolutely identical did the same thing.
There's no difference.
To the right across the hall from us, there was a smart shower, and I don't know what just happened. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna crank this up. My AirPods. I mean, my AirPods are getting old. I'm gonna have to buy new ones soon. But we had vacuum cleaners. Mm-hmm. The amount of items that were there that were operating off of lithium-ion batteries.
Oh, yeah.
You had the potential, and you have the potential. All of us people that are poking fun at you right now can be eating absolute crow if at the end of CES next year, you say the entirety of CES was powered by donut solid-state batteries.
100%. If their batteries can do what they say they do, literally everything in the world that runs on batteries can be running on it. They'd be the world's first multi-trillion-dollar company within days.
Well, I mean, there are multi-trillion-dollar companies. There are multi-trillion-dollar companies right now, but I understand what you're saying. You're talking about a trillion-dollar company year over year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, they would own the market. They would 100% own the market within days. But they don't. Instead, they're playing this game, and it makes you wonder: are they hiding something? I don't know. So here's
and it makes me wonder.
So the advice that I would give to Donut Labs is the advice that I'm going to take for Flashpoint. Here's the advice I would give to Donut Labs. Guess what? The second that you're able to go into production, which clearly they already are because they're sending out test units to testing facilities, you send out these your test units, production-ready test units rather, to testing facilities everywhere where you plan on selling your product. And you say, you guys do run the gamut. Run every single test you possibly can on this thing. At the end, we want to see the results and publish them publicly. Because our product can do exactly what we say it can do. Within the parameters or better. Because our product is that good. And then, guess what? You send versions of your product out to influencers, and you invite people to come and test your product and see your product and see it in action. And that's exactly what Flashpoint's going to do. We're about to go into full production. Once we have actual production versions of our product, they're going immediately out to third-party testing facilities for just to run all these tests to actually show our product does exactly what we say it can do. And we're going to talk to influencers who come in, and they'll see our product in action. And we're going to have all the information out there and available for anybody who wants to see it or test the product. Because we can do exactly what we say we're going to do, and we're going to show you exactly how we do it. We're not going to play this game of, oh, hey, this week you're going to have this little bit of information. Oh, next week you might have a little bit more information. We're not going to tell you what it is yet. No, that's how you lose trust, and that's how you ruin your reputation, frankly. For the rest of time, Donut Labs, even if they have the best battery in the world, will always have this reputation of, can I really trust them, or are they just playing another game? I don't know. They did it before. That's the problem.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
Yeah.
So we are at 10:35.
Okay, so we had a quick hello, but we spent a lot of time on all this stuff.
So I mean, well, the news was kind of potent. So I mean, do we want to carry over? You know what? We'll ask the people who are watching.
We can carry
Do
over
we
to next
sit
week.
here
It's
and
still a
shoot
good
the
topic.
breeze? But can we close that in 20 minutes?
No, well, I mean, no, we can carry over the topic to next week. We can continue. Next week is like
That's what I'm saying. Is like we can absolutely, because this is a great topic, and
It's a
it
great
really
topic. We should
it
spend some
really
time.
does own power. Next week we only get one news article, and then we
Yes.
gotta go into the topic.
We had a lot of fun on the news, talking about
yeah,
burgers and
we do,
batteries.
and the news is fun. Let me turn my volume back up here. Here we go. So I've got my headphones here, but my headphones are linked to that, and if I put that on, this is right. There we go.
There you go. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Well, not as good now because I got headphones on that are blocking the audio. These are not linked to this. Yeah, these are not linked to that. These are great headphones. These are the Bose something or another, blah blah blah.
Well, if you can't hear me, they're not doing the job that they need to be doing.
Well, yeah, I don't have them connected. And they weren't turned on. These are convenient when you're dealing with all Apple products, and everything except my personal cell phone in my life is Apple. Sadly, but the battery life on these are terrible, absolutely terrible. I need to buy some new. I need to buy some news. Hey, what did he say there? Gee, Christmas microprint.
I know it's. There we go.
I have a DeLorean that needs 1.21 gigawatts.
And you have to say gigawatts too. You can't say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You have to say.
So
gigawatts.
Okay. So being a guy that that deals with batteries and battery storage is a lot, and I can always get the people. I look over the views. I was in Wisconsin, and I'm at the state fire marshals. Blah blah blah. I was a keynote speaker for them,
mm-hmm.
and I'm there talking about it, and I'm like, we deal with this, and anything over 20 kilowatts, we do this. But if we're over 1.21 gigawatts, then we really need to bring in the engineering professionals. That's when you guys call us. And the whole statement was bullcrap, right? I mean, there was nothing to do with it at all. It was literally just a reason for me to use the term 1.21 gigawatts. And there were a few people. I love seeing it. I love looking out there and seeing a couple people's like. I find that funny that this guy just dropped as our keynote speaker talking about something that's like super important, and just dropped a Back to the Future reference on us.
That's awesome.
And you can see him look around like, who else got that? Am I the smartest person in the room, or is anybody else in here? Or these other fools who don't get that reference?
If you don't get the reference, you don't belong at any kind of
yeah.
public, like gathering at all. If you don't get that reference, just stay at home, watch movies, catch up with the rest of society. I get it. Elvis says let's continue this intriguing concept next week. And I think it's a good topic. We should actually dedicate some time to it because it is important.
We really should, and it really boils down to, and we'll talk about the topic and title of the agenda for tonight. Because I got to tell you, when I read the agenda, I was like, as soon as I seen the title of it, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. So then I got into, normally West has a handful of things and a lot more bullet points than I would have. War and Peace may be a short read based upon compared to the topic he put through tonight.
I got a lot of information to convey. I have a lot of information to convey, David.
Yeah, there's a lot in today's topic. We're not going to get to it today. We're going to get to it next week. But the core of it and really kind of the meat potatoes of it was the meat and mac and cheese of it, so we can get more carbs and dairy. Yeah, there we go. Yes, yeah. Who needs to poop, right? So
now we're at the time of the show when it starts to get weird. Yeah.
Anyway, typically our shows start with
Elvis. You are correct. I'm at least part AI. Prove I'm not. If we're all living in a simulation, if we're living in a simulation, we're all AI. So
unfortunately, based upon some of the articles that you put through today on the consciousness existing prior to life,
Right.
that contradicts your standard model of the simulation theory.
Actually, it doesn't, because here's how I wrap it up in a
knew
nice
he was
clean
gonna do that.
bow. Here's how I
I
wrap
asked
them
the
into a nice clean bow.
simulation what he would say.
I am part of the simulation, so I have to answer. When I wrap it up into a nice clean bow, I answer it with the idea of consciousness existing before biology. That it is what I might neatly define as bullshit.
There we go.
But no, so it's funny. There's actually, so I post. So I do the Flashpoint Journal of Battery Safety, where we're updating almost daily now. We're doing a lot of stuff, and I post those a brief excerpt of each article from the Flashpoint Journal of Battery Safety on LinkedIn. And there's this one guy who almost every single day comments on my posts. And he is 100% convinced that I'm AI. Like, he's always talking about, like going back to Shanghai and hey, AI, think about it this way. And I'm like, I even messaged him. I'm like, dude, what do I have to do to convince you I'm not a bot? He's like, oh, were you programmed to say that? I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you trolling me right now? What's happening?
It's probably a bot that you're arguing
and
with.
I even told him, I was like, look, well, I replied in an actual comment so other people can see it, is, look, if we're in a simulation, technically we're all bots. So, I mean, prove or not.
What you do in those scenarios is you make it your mama joke.
Yeah, your mama.
I mean, what bot is programmed to make it your mama joke?
Your mom is AI. Yeah.
Yeah, your mom's AI. You know what? If you want to find out I'm real, ask your mom. So I was actually called a bot. I was on, one of the places I go in New York City a lot. Is a little controversial sometimes. Has nothing to do with a strip club, but a different location. That I was like, hey, this is great. These people are fantastic. I always have a great time. And they're like, ha ha ha, bot. I'm like, I replied to them directly. I'm like, I'm not a bot. Here's the pictures. Here's me.
Right.
That's me. Here's the things. I spent my last 3 birthdays at this place. Come on, man. And they haven't had the balls to reply yet.
Well, I think this guy's convinced I'm a bot because I use actual punctuation and I have facts. I think those two things combine to say, it's clearly AI.
Yeah, that's tough. That's me in texting. If I ever accidentally text somebody, I use punctuation, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I updated my background for my absolute gorgeous wife in my hoodie that I know she can try to steal. But what was I talking about? I see my wife, and my whole mind went blank.
All right, you were talking about punctuation in texts.
Punctuation. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'll go to this text message. T-Mobile's trying to sell me a new phone. It's not going to happen. I think T-Mobile feels like one of the most scammiest businesses on the world.
You get ads in your text messages?
Yes. So it's T-Mobile. So here we go. I got to remember where the thing is. So here it is. So I can accidentally do things, and it'll switch over to that.
Your emojis. Okay. You don't use emojis?
I don't know what the hell that is.
You don't know what emojis are?
I want ABC, QWERTY keyboard. Even if you gave me a different layout keyboard, I want letters and numbers and commas and punctuation, and so I can convey my thing in correct format and syntax.
Well, if you had an iPhone like the rest of civilized society, I could show you how to disable your emojis.
I've got one right here. Let me see what it's doing.
I can show you how to disable your emoji keyboard. You can actually disable it, so it won't.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
I don't use this one as much. Let's see here. Let me see.
I don't know about your Android nonsense, but
here we go. This is. I had to pull up a one that I can share. This is just hey. This is from Delta telling me, hey, your flight's probably screwed.
Just reply back with a poop emoji. See, that's the great thing about emojis.
But if I click incorrectly, I get this.
Yep.
And I will be just like typing away where the letter should be on my phone.
You're just a bunch of
And
smiley
this is like,
faces and
happy smiley face, smiley face. Do this right here, and here's an eggplant. That's always a good one to send to somebody.
No, the eggplant and the water splashing are not good emojis to send to people.
Yeah.
Not
When
a
I
good
when I
business
when I
message.
send somebody random, and I never send them because I always check my messages to make sure they read properly. I looked down at my phone. I'm like, what the frig is this? It's
What
ridiculous.
did I just send? Yeah.
Like I can't send that. I got to delete, and then I got to hunt for the freaking keyboard. I don't need smiley faces in my communication. I do not.
See, this actually makes a lot of sense, though. This makes a lot of sense why you don't reply to my texts, but you'll actually send me a bunch of Facebook messages, but I don't get Facebook notifications, so I never reply back to you on Facebook. There's like that's our miscommunications are making sense now.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Don't if something comes across my phone that has an emoji in it, it's already going into the I'm not replying to that.
So I shouldn't send you emojis anymore. Good to know.
Yeah, don't send emojis. Don't send emojis. So it's 10:47. We never actually got to the topic tonight.
Next week we will get to it, and it's a good topic.
It is a great topic, and I'm going to talk about the title of the topic to just for a few minutes, And it was, it takes years to build a quality reputation.
Oh yeah.
You can destroy that reputation in one campaign, in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, there have been many very large corporations who have done this in the recent years. Some people, this is the preface for next week, and we'll go over this again next week. Excuse me. Will believe that it's politically motivated or this motivated or that motivated, and all of their excuses. Let me straighten this here. Great brand, by the way.
Under Armour, good brand, yes.
Are bullshit. Your excuses are bullshit.
Yep.
Your excuses are bullshit. You alienated your core.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it doesn't matter years of building up to build that center. Whenever we look at a bell curve, right? And anybody that's in business, the bell curve is a very familiar friend of yours. Mm-hmm. When you build that bell curve, the people that structure the left or right of the peak of the bell curve, that's your fucking core.
Right, but that's the problem. That's part of the problem is companies, when they reach a certain size, they bring people in who have their own ideas, their own ideologies that they want to push in different directions. We're not getting political. I'm just saying they think their ideologies are more important than the core demographic.
Correct. Who is the one that's paying your bills? Now, we're going to pick on one of the more recent ones real quick. We won't go into full detail on it, but real quick, we're going to talk about Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, it's a good example.
The failures on Cracker Barrel are astounding. Now, we've already been over the whole, you can't do this, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do this, you're alienating this. We've already been through Cracker Barrel. But what we didn't really highlight then was everybody was already on guard. Everybody is already watching.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, everybody's watching Cracker Barrel. You had all of the data because you wanted to change a persona because you have a new absolute piece of crap for a CEO that needs to go away. um, who you can. Bottom line is you can do better. Okay, when you have somebody that's that disconnected from understanding where the core money comes from,
Right.
you got a problem.
Yeah.
Now, their idea or her idea is not a terrible idea. The idea that they could have a brand that is competing against First Watch probably has higher margins because First Watch customers aren't as concerned with price. So you can probably expand your margins in a thing like that in a business that fits in that in that Venn. All right, in that Venn. So you got your Venn here. It definitely covers your Sunday church crowd in the Cracker Barrel Venn. Your First Watch is I want to avoid the Cracker Barrel and Sunday church Venn. So they're not. You don't have a ton of overlap between those. You're going to get some, but you don't have a ton of overlap.
Yeah.
Your core customer is not going to be this. Cracker Barrel had 100%, 100% of the data needed to spin up a brand new mid upper tier breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Experience.
If they had spun it up into a sub brand,
yes.
Oh my gosh, it would have been genius, and you know what? People would have loved him for it. People would have loved him for it.
I would have loved him for it.
Yeah.
But instead, what did they do? West, what did they do? What did they do, West?
Because they thought they were something that they were not. They thought they deserved to be something that they were not. They ended up alienating their core demographic in favor of this theoretical demographic that they thought they should be a part of.
Yes.
And in the end, they just pissed people off. They didn't win new customers. They pissed off their core customers.
Yeah. They did. Oh, they did not. They did not win.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah,
anyone.
No,
there was no.
They could have, but they absolutely could have. They could have won if they had done what you said. A spin-off brand would have been genius. That would have been a genius move, and they would be in the winners' circle right now had they done that.
So Cracker Barrel spins. The should I use the word spins? I'm going to use the word spins.
Spun.
Cracker Barrel spins the ideology, the mind, the image, the mental image of I'm sitting down south with my family. I'm sitting down south. We can be ruckus.
Well, they
we
got
can
the biscuits and gravy, home cooking.
Biscuits and gravy.
Playing the little game on the table with the
exactly. West's favorite pastime is pegging. I mean, it's a huge thing for him.
I'm really good at it.
But I shouldn't say but after that. But that went wrong. Wow, that went wrong. Yeah, that's what you say is ouch. Anyway, but God, man, I can't even think of it. Anyway, let's say Cracker Barrel done that, and they still want to own that Southern feel. They still want to do that. You can do that with the Southern Bell, the Southern Tea Time, and craft a name and experience that says we're a classier, higher end, and a higher value of this brand. You can still belong to Cracker Barrel or CB Brands or whatever you want to call yourself.
Right.
Cracker Barrel being one, and I'm going to make up this weird name here, Tea Time, which you can't copyright. It being number two, and you could spun that up. You had every bit, 100% of the data needed. There is nobody, and this includes Waffle House, nobody that has more and broader data on the breakfast and brunch demographic than Cracker Barrel did. And they screwed it up by attacking and alienating their core demographic.
Yeah, there's no reason why that should have happened because they had the data. You're right. It all came down to that.
Yes.
And what they've ended up doing, going back to the main topic, is they have, I think, maybe not irreparably damaged their reputation, but certainly scarred it to the point it's going to take decades to get back to where they were.
I can't share the phone number, but I got a message that says we're still here. So that means I got to go to the bar. So
you got to run.
we're going to wrap this up. going to talk to you guys next week. We're going to get, so we didn't actually get into any bit of our actual topic. Yeah. So in my mind, Elvis, to be fair, in my mind, I did have Bob Evans. Bob Evans is a lot more regional. Being from Southern Ohio and Rio Grande, which is where Bob Evans is from.
Evans, it's delicious.
Bob Evans is great. Bob Evans is not Bob Evans anymore. There's a big difference. They have already lost a ton of market share. They've already done a decent amount of damage. There's been a lot of
management issues over the last decade, but
yes,
different conversation. Yes, go ahead.
And so, yeah, a whole different conversation. Yes, Bob Evans back when you could get real Bob Evans was a big deal and it was great. But now you just get their frozen food that's shipped in. And it's really not that fancy, or never was fancy. But it doesn't have the same.
It's not the same.
It doesn't have the same je ne sais quoi. All right,
David's being called.
He is absolutely correct, and we do need to approach a Bob Evans because Bob Evans is a company that we could talk to and say, "Hey, are you ready to take over? Are you ready to lead Maximus Decimus Meridius?" And see what we can do. All right. We'll go from there. Next week. I've been David. He's been Yep. He's been West.
I've been West.
This has been the Underdog Journey. Wait, what?
I've been an AI representing West. In the simulation.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I've been simulated Dave. He's been simulated West. This has been the simulated Underdog Journey. We're going to see you next week when we actually get to the friggin' topic. Have a good week.